Please continue to eat quietly. Everything I have to say is so important, so don't disturb the people sitting beside you. I'm Sue Douglas. I'm the chair of the Operations, Sales, and Service Council, and this is our membership luncheon. We have in the room those of you who are members of our council, those of you who are thinking about being members of our council, and those wonderful sponsors who have helped make this conference be what it was this week. Without the sponsors, we couldn't do what we did. And without the people who work for CUNA, we couldn't do what we do all the time. I want to ask David to stand up. David Rowe is the vice president for CUNA for the councils. He is over all of the councils, of which there are 6. David's the only one in here because the others are working. So I would appreciate it if you would, when you see somebody with a name tag that says they're from CUNA, they're up at the front desk in the Welcome Center, they're the busy bees working around, just say thanks. We appreciate a job well done because they have done a great job of getting this conference in order and making sure we stay on track the rest of the year. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about who we are. I hope you know that. We are the youngest council. We are the only council that has grown every year since it began. We did have that one year when it was just one more than we had last year, but it still counted. So we have grown tremendously, and you're going to hear a little bit about the membership committee reporting on that. So the first thing I'd like to do is just invite the rest of the EC to come up here and stand with me. I'll put their names up there in case they forgot. If your name is up there, come on up. Come on up. Now, I'm not going to do the pop up, and introduce them and back and forth. I'm going to let them introduce themselves as they come forward to talk about their committee. But before we do that, I want somebody at every table to reach in the middle and pick up the blue sheets. Somebody. Oh, this table has none. All right. Somebody, hold them up. Tell me that you have them. Tell me that you see them, because I want everybody to seriously pay attention to the committees and listen to what the committees do, so that at the end of the conference you can sign up for the committee or committees of your choice. Now, if you didn't get a blue sheet at your table today, there are more sheets at the Welcome Center that you can stop by there. We don't want anybody to say, I tried, but nobody wanted me. So you need to put your name down somewhere so that we know what you're interested in. Now, these guys are going to talk to you about the different committees and about what your opportunities are to continue to make this a great, great council. Thank you.
Chairman, are we clicking this? Or are we clicking this? Yeah.
This is not the technology.
Is that the first one? Okay. There we go. All right. My name's Dave Tate. I'm chairperson of the membership committee this year. Becky Davis is the vice chair. Obviously, we are the committee you want to be on because you want to continue growing our membership every year. Go ahead, Becky.
Whoops. Thank you. That was one thing that really enhanced my membership in the council, is when I became involved in committees and participating and being a part of the growth of the council. So all kidding aside, it really will enhance your experience being a member. The membership committee, our duties include contacting...
Let's start with them.
Okay. Oh, I apologize. This is our committee. If your name is on that board, would you just please stand? We're not going to read all the names out individually, but we'd like for everybody to know who the hard workers are here. Thank you. And thanks to these folks, we not only met our goal, we exceeded our growth targets. So we did really well with our membership growth this year. And the duties that we have, we contact non-renewing members, we recruit and welcome new members either by a phone call or email, and just answer any questions they may have about our council. And we encourage participation in activities. We talk to them about the conference, the listserv, and all that our council has to offer. So it's, you know, we work very closely with the folks at CUNA, and they have just been incredible as far as the support and direction that they provide us. As far as our results for this year, we're at 816 now. We added 238 new members, which was really a significant growth for us. And 77% of people that were members renewed. And we're continuing to grow. We were at 8.7% over last year. And as Sue said, we're the only council to continue to grow each year. So we appreciate your membership, and we look forward to more and more growth and good things to happen with our council. Thank you.
All right, I'll see how this works. This isn't technology council, like she said. So these are the people who volunteered for the regulatory committee this year, and if you're in this room, I know several of you are, please stand, and I'd like to recognize you for your work. Some of the duties that we have is we collaborate with the council administration and the CUNA Washington staff, and we help identify opportunities for comment. For those of you in the session this morning with Diana Dykstra, you heard an honest, I guess, interpretation and understanding what's going on the reg side. And one of the things she said was how few credit unions actually comment on the regs. And I know you're all busy, and I know that's not the funnest thing to do, but it really is important and makes a big difference in what happens in credit unions. So then we help coordinate with that, the collection and the distribution of those comments with the council members. So hopefully you've seen some of the things we've posted on the website regarding that. Some of the topics that we've had, a lot of them are with CFPB. We haven't had as many this year, honestly, as we have had last year, but they seem to be still coming around, like remittance transfers. We've been talking about that for a while. Bank Security Act, consumer due diligence. We also include some of the NCUA board meeting summaries. Hopefully you've had a chance to see those and look at those. Again, a lot of it may or may not be relevant to something you're doing right now, but it's probably still good for you to see what's going on in the industry. And then a new thing we started on the website, I hope you've seen, is something we call Hot Topics, and that contains articles or links or things that we think might be of interest to you that are kind of current, might be something, an area you're interested in, or some of your management is looking for more information, and all of the committees contribute to that as well. Two new things we did, hopefully you've seen this, is the Cheney report. I feel like we have to do that. And this is a really good piece. It's from Bill. Again, it's high level, but it covers a lot of what's going on in credit unions in the whole industry. You can see this one was about Don't Tax My Credit Unions. I'm sure that's familiar to you. We do have that rally coming up in October, so I imagine there'll be more with that as we go through the year. And then the CUNA Regulatory Advocacy Report, another thing. And this we try to get a little bit more about compliance and about regulation. So hopefully you found this helpful as well. That's pretty much what we did this year. If you're interested in regulation or you have a compliance background, I'd love to have you on the committee. Next year, I think one of our focuses is going to be to try to take these things and make them more practical. Maybe what does it mean to my credit union? Sometimes that's easier said than done, but we're going to make that effort. So thank you very much.
Diane, do you want to just really quick talk about a little bit about the name of the new, because it's not the Legislative Regulatory Committee anymore. It's adding the
We're adding the word compliance to the
so
title.
We're looking for
There you go.
compliance
Big
professionals
announcement. Yeah.
to be part of our committee,
Yeah.
this committee as well, because we really feel like it would help with the compliance effort. So thank you. You kind of already said it, but
I thought so, but that's okay. Thank you. Yeah. So look for the new and improved CUNA regulatory compliance. So, thank you.
Steve Stryker moment. So.
Which one?
We don't know what order we're
We're-
supposed to be going in.
Where's, oh. Hey, we came up at the right time.
Hi, I'm Patsy Gata from the Member Resource Committee, and this is Steve Stryker from the Member Resource, Scott, whatever, Resource Committee. And we would like our members to stand up so we can recognize you for all of your efforts. Please stand up and give a round of applause for the Member Resource folks. Woo-hoo! And David, you can stand up and represent all of CUNA, because without your folks, we'd never be able to get these things together. No applause for Steve, Dave. And Steve, tell them what we did.
All right, we had a busy year, as Jenny Jackson from CUNA attested to me the other day. We kept her busy with roundtables. Our goal was to do 4 roundtables. By the end of this year, we'll have conducted 6. So my hat's off to the committee. Nice hard work. Hopefully you as members are finding value in those roundtables. I think it's the #1 way we can reach you other than this conference and share ideas, things that are relevant in our industry. As you know, we're kind of the catch-all. We're operations, back office operations. We're front office operations. We're contact center, call center, and sales and service. So it's a wide spray, and this is one of the great ways for you to get information. We also completed, let me see, we'll flip forward, 3 white papers so far, and the 4th is on its way. So like I said, very busy year. Thank you for all the help to all the members of the committee, and we hope that everyone that is sitting at the tables now picks up that blue sheet and selects us. Try to be an overachiever like myself.
Yeah.
Well, good afternoon. Are you having a good conference? Yeah. Well, I'm Steve Langley. I'm your vice chair of your executive committee, and I'm here as representation of I was your chair of the conference committee, and this is Greg Inman. He was the vice chair of the conference committee. We worked our tails off this year, and I'll just be honest with you. We were, if you look up there, there's a very small list of names, and if you are here, please stand up and jump up and down and shout because you worked your tails off too. So. Every single session that you have attended or will attend was vetted through this committee, and it was just incredibly arduous. And so it's a small committee. We'd like to double the size of it next year. There was only 6 or 7 folks on the committee, and we'd really like to double the size of it. I also want to give a shout out to Cheryl and Deb from CUNA. Cheryl is our conference manager, and Deb handles just about everything else. They are here. If you see those two, just thank them, because not only do they work their tails off here at this conference, they also worked incredibly hard for months helping us put this conference together. And so, again, no small feat, and again, thank you very much. And I'm going to pass it over to Greg, and Greg's going to talk a little bit about what we did and what we accomplished.
Alrighty, so for our conference committee, some of the activities that we primarily focus on is helping to identify the theme and the direction for the conference, as well as building the agenda. Also, this team works very hard at trying to suggest speakers for all of the sessions, so it's a lot of input going into trying to provide relevant topics, excellent speakers, as well as an agenda that's balanced, so you get a little bit of all the things that Steve Stryker talked about just a moment ago. So we work with the selected speakers to determine the direction of each session so that it hits on the deliverables that we'd like it to, as well as leveraging opportunities and resources to help the council make the most of its conference dollars. You have the... I already did it for you. Beautiful.
Amazing. You guys are a team.
Our committee deliverables this year, our conference attendance was at 191. We far surpassed our goals, so great job. We had sponsors participating, 19 of our sponsors for ops. Yay for our sponsors once again. Our goal is to achieve a minimum overall satisfaction rating of on a 4.0 scale for 1 to 5, and our overall satisfaction in 2012 was 4.56. We'd love to see that be even higher this year based on your feedback from the conference. So thank you all for being here.
I'm back, and I'm still Steve Stryker. And this is Debbie Bauman. And I'd like all the members of our sponsorship committee, please stand up. Everyone. Everyone worked hard this year, and I'm going to have Debbie just kind of walk us through what we do.
I think the largest thing that we are responsible for is to, number one, go after the sponsors that are here this year, but also to look for sponsors that are out there with new products, new services that would be beneficial to our members. Because of our sponsors, and sponsors we have in the room, if you'd like to stand, we would love to recognize you. It is because of the support of these sponsors and the other ones that are out in our main area for breakfast. They are the ones that help contribute their dollars so that it makes the sponsor or the conference registration as economical as possible. They're the ones that help to pay for the speakers that we bring in. So they are a vital role to what we do within our operations council. Committee itself, we reach out to those. We also will contact, and we work very hand in hand with Julie Lang at the CUNA. She does a phenomenal job. If we get sponsors in, she sends out the mailings to them. She does the follow-up for us. So it's really well-oiled. I look to you guys. If you have some sponsors that you work with at your credit unions and would say, wait a minute, this would be a great opportunity for them, to please feed that information to us, to Steve, to myself, or any of the members of the committee, because we would love to do an outreach to them so that we can have more sponsors to our council. We also will host a reception for those folks. Our goal is to have 90% of them return year after year. We think that that's important for them as well as for us as we start to build those relationships. Oops. Wrong clicker.
There we go.
So, for the 2013 results, like Greg said, we had 19 companies that have sponsored us for $96,500 in sponsorships. And what's wonderful about that is that this is about twice the amount that we were at 3 years ago. So that's huge for us. Goals for next year are to exceed 100,000. We need your support. We want your information. We'll also take volunteers, so sign up.
Over the last couple years, I've been kind of championing this cause. As you look at credit union times and things like that, you see announcements for Professional of the Year for the CFO Council and HR Council and different things. And I said, well, why don't we have a Professional of the Year? So with the help of the CUNA staff and this group here, we've put together some criteria to acknowledge and give some props to someone we think is the Operations Professional of the Year, and this will start for 2014. So we've set some selection processes, and these are the things we will look at as you would make an application. So creating a new product or service that exceeds your credit union expectation, leading a significant change in culture in your credit union, fostering success within the credit union movement, or enhancing your community through organizational involvement or activism. So those are the kind of the 4 areas, any one of those areas that we'll take applications from people to become our first Professional of the Year. And what will you win? Well, you get the prestigious award, which we haven't really created yet, but it will be prestigious. It'll be amazing. It will. It'll be, you know, it'll be in a place of honor in your office. And big, yes. We'll have to have Stryker actually carry it. Delivered personally. Recognition in Credit Union Magazine, a complimentary registration for the 2015 conference, and be on the committee as going forward. The winner of 1 year will be on the committee to select the continuing winners. So what will happen is you'll have a nomination process. You'll be able to nominate yourself. You'll be able to nominate other people. There'll be an online form on our council website starting in the spring. The nominations are due by June 15th, and we'll make a determination by the end of July. So we want to make this something very special. We think there's a lot of great ideas and happenings going on in our industry, and we think it's time for our professionals to be acknowledged like the other councils. Okay?
All right, we can go down.
And now, live from the Lowe's Hollywood Hotel in beautiful Hollywood, California, it's time for the 2013 CUNA Operations Sales and Service Council Awards. But before we begin, I would like to recognize the 2013 committee. Mr. Greg Inman. Please stand, Greg. Mr. Bill Thomas. And yours truly, Steve Stryker. Let's get on with the show. Take it away, Bill.
Thanks, Steve. This year, I just wanted to go over the Excellence Award categories we have. We had 4 categories: branch design, call contact center e-support, because we know that's a really growing area; sales and service management, because there is an SS in the OPSS Council; and then miscellaneous, because we've seen a lot of credit unions do some amazing things that didn't just quite fit into any of these categories.
Wait, isn't the SS for Steve Stryker?
It could be. Now, new in 2013, we also decided to divide the category into asset tiers. So we had these 3 asset tiers, as you see here, some less than 150 million, 150 to 500 million, and then over 500 million, because we recognize there's some differences in what the different categories, credit unions, these different asset tiers would do. The other thing we did, which is very exciting, and I hope you all are ready for this, is we added the Best in Show Award to really celebrate the success of some really exciting credit unions.
So our first category is going to be branch design. This award recognizes the credit union that has applied the non-traditional elements into a new or remodeled branches, specifically those institutions that have pushed the envelope to differentiate the look of their branches while enhancing member service. The metrics we reviewed while scoring this award were member growth, ratio of members to potential members, and branch profitability.
And the winner in the less than $150 million category is Element Credit Union. Element Credit Union created a high-tech setting in which members can access social media in a cafe or conduct business at a transaction center as opposed to a traditional teller line.
Congratulations. And for branch design, assets between 150 million and 500 million. Oh, shoot, I should get my glasses on because I can't read that in the small print. And the winner is Nimio. Nimio, come on down. Nimio Credit Union won for their infusion of technology into a non-traditional setting to complement their rebrand and name change. Now members can bask in neighborhood setting while conducting their credit union transactions. Wonderful job.
Thank you.
The next category is call contact center e-support. This recognizes credit unions that have added or updated their contact center to provide outstanding performance and their standard for excellence. Some of the metrics include abandon rate, operating expense, average talk time, average answer response time, and transactions per hour.
And call contact center e-support, assets greater than $500 million. The winner is Twin Star Credit Union.
Yeah.
Twin Star is being awarded for assembling and deploying their e-channel team. They are able to deliver service at the speed of now with this team. In addition, their outbound specialists have enhanced their business development efforts markedly, improving their loan growth. Great job. Oh, they have the name on it.
Oh, they have the name on it.
Bill and I rehearsed for hours. It wouldn't be a great presentation if there weren't a slight flaw. Yeah, we're trying to get the Best Dressed Award. I'll tell you what, we're going to hand out the awards. I want all the winners to stick around afterwards because we want to get a photo op with you. Well, and then Sue, you got it. And then during the photo op, we're going to get you aligned with the proper award. But come up here and bask in the glory. We'll hand you a trophy. That's what's important.
The next category is sales and service management. This recognizes credit unions that use innovative approaches to create, cultivate, and sustain a successful sales culture. Some of the metrics used to measure this would be cross-sell ratios or cross-sells per full-time employee, services or products per household, that penetration, deposit growth, or loan growth.
And for sales and service management, assets greater than $500 million, the winner is Neighbors Credit Union. Got it right. Neighbors won in sales and service management category for their well-executed sales program that focused on increasing loans and overall credit union profitability. They combined sales contests with their overarching annual goal to produce great results. Good job. Good job. Is this me?
All right, miscellaneous. This recognizes credit unions for any operation, sales, and service success story that does not fit in the other categories. All entrants did include metrics that demonstrated they achieved what they set out to do.
And our miscellaneous in the asset category between $150 and $500 million, the winner is General Mills Federal Credit Union. General Mills won their award for their Impress program, which they completely transformed their employee culture. They now strive to impress their members and each other while delivering superior service and growing their business. Great job.
And in the miscellaneous category, assets greater than $500 million, the winner is Numerica Credit Union. Numerica was able to simultaneously improve service, increase loan volume, increase loan yield, and empower their branch staff by decentralizing their loan function. Okay.
We'll get it done.
Yeah.
All right, I saved the best for me to talk about. Best in Show. Best in Show is a new award, as Bill mentioned earlier. It's designed to transcend the asset size and award categories. The award recognizes outstanding entry, displaying particularly unique and innovative program that has helped the credit union exceed their goals while demonstrating a commitment to credit union principles and philosophy.
And the winner is Red Canoe and Empower Credit Union. These two credit unions won this award for living the true spirit of cooperation. These two credit unions work together to run a contest and promotions to save members money and to grow business. Both credit unions benefited from this coast-to-coast effort.
That concludes the Excellence Awards. As I mentioned, I want all the winners to stick around because we truly have a photo op. It's not just an opportunity to get the right trophy with the right people. And I want to reach out to everyone sitting in this room because somewhere in your credit union you're doing something that shows excellence. And we want to hear from you. We want to give you the opportunity to come up here, get an award, and potentially share what you're doing with credit unions in the following year. This year we had quite a few entries, much more than we've had historically. I want to continue to grow this awards program because it's really a great method for us to share and shine. There are so many things that we do well every day, and yet it sometimes falls under the radar because you know what? We're operations, right? What happens with operations? When do you notice operations? When things break, not when they're going well, right? And so we have to celebrate ourselves from time to time. So please, in the coming year, look at what you're doing at your operation and submit an entry next year. We really look forward to seeing them. Now we have one more award. I'd like the exec committee to come back up. We have to honor one more shining star.
Awesome. Well, hi, everybody, again. I'm Steve Langley. I'm actually from Travis Credit Union up in Northern California. And I was, I guess, fortunate enough to come onto this council. Jennifer Lynn, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Jennifer is one of our past chairs of our executive council. So Jennifer, thank you for the service you provided us. Thank you very much. And what I think is cool about Jennifer is that she's never she's never looked in the rearview mirror and said, that's a past part of my life. She still looks certainly through the windshield and says she's still very much part of this council. And I came on to the council under Jennifer's leadership and transitioned 2 years ago from Jennifer to Sue Douglas came. And the person that we actually want to recognize right now is Sue Douglas this afternoon, is that on Friday I was fortunate enough to be elected chair of your executive committee. So effective after this conference, I will be your new chair. And Greg Inman will be your vice chair. And Steve Stryker, because we were all on the same ballot, got elected your secretary-treasurer. And so congratulations to you guys. So, but this afternoon is not about us, it's about Sue, because Sue is terming out as far as she's been our chair for 2 years. She'll be with us for another year. And what you might not know is that the leadership of every council, and I think this is part of David's leadership, is that the chair and the vice chair of every council belong to what they call a forum council. And we meet a couple times a year. We're going to be meeting in Washington, D.C. next month. And we have leadership on the forum council. And before Sue's even off of our council, she's provided such great leadership, and she's so well respected in our industry. Sue is now the vice chair of the forum council. So congratulations, Sue, on that. So we will be looking forward to working with Sue over the next 3 or 4 years through her leadership on the Forum Council. But we're going to say goodbye to Sue as far as from our, and thank you to Sue as far as being part of our leadership of our council. She's still going to serve on our executive council for another year, I believe. But before she does, we want to say thank you and just show our gratitude a little bit. And you know, for those of you who, I'm from New York originally, I live in California, but when you hang around somebody from North Carolina, you start learning a little bit about them. And so I've kind of been reflecting over some of the Sueisms that, as I call them, the Sueisms that I've kind of picked up. And, you know, because I've got some big shoes to fill over the next 2 years. And, you know, so I've actually I've been taking her in like a sponge and saying, you know, what is it about Sue that, you know, I admire? Well, some of her sayings are just amazing, and I've been trying to pick up some of them. And one of the sayings she says is, well, bless your heart. And what's interesting is about that, she says that right before she turns to the next person back of her after she says that and says, well, you know, you can't fix stupid. So if she ever says to you, well, bless your heart, I'm just saying. Another thing that Sue says is that, you know, a lot of times in meetings she goes, you know that doo-dah thing. She says it a lot. You know that doo-dah thing. No, Sue, we don't know that doo-dah thing. So we're still working on that. You know, and then one of the things she said on Friday is we're planning for this. And so, you know, one of the things that we're sitting around the table, and she goes, you know, are we getting a real breakfast or are we just getting some of them muffs? We said, what the hell's a muff, Sue? So anyway, we reassured her that we were having hearty bacon and egg breakfast every single day. And what you might not know about Sue, finally, is that Sue's very flexible in nature. Not only is she flexible in her spirit, but she's also flexible in her body. And Sue practices the art of yoga. And anybody practice yoga? Anybody, right? So Sue practices yoga. And you know, what do they say at the end of every yoga session? Namaste. They say namaste. They do. So after every yoga session, she says namaste. But she adds a little bit to it. She says, namaste, y'all. Namaste, y'all. So Sue, we love you. We admire you. We appreciate. We were giving her a toast the other night. We were like, we appreciate your humbleness. And yeah, that didn't work out so good. And your quiet spirit. No, that didn't work out either. But no, Sue, on behalf of your council, we really appreciate the leadership and direction. You certainly have big shoes to fill, and I will do my best. But before we do that, we have a few gifts for you, and we have a couple people that are going to present them. So, I'll pull them out.
Well, while he's doing that, y'all fill out your blue. I won't be the leader next year, but I'll be checking you out.
Is that Sueism number 6, 7, 8, and 9? Sue, it's my pleasure on behalf of all of the members of the CUNA Council for Operations, Sales, and Service to present you with this token of appreciation.
And as you know, Sue is bigger than life, and her heart is like that too. She may come from one of the largest credit unions, but she loves us all and has the heart of the member and the heart of the credit union. So we'd like to say the final test of a leader is that he leaves behind, he or she in Sue's case, leaves behind in others the conviction and will to carry it on. Thank you, Sue. We love you.
And finally, a token of appreciation. This is something for you and your husband to go enjoy. Sue likes food. That's why she wants real breakfast and not muffs. So from the Executive Council, here's our appreciation. We love you and we thank you for all your guidance.
All I can do is say thank you and say that these people know me well enough. This either has something to do with coffee or red wine. One or the other. So, everybody up here has been a delight to work with. Everybody in CUNA has been a delight. I'm excited to continue to work in the forum area, but this council will always have my heart. I'm operations. I've been in operations for over 40 years at my credit union, and everything you do every day is to make life better for your members. My job is to continue to help you realize that's what you're in the business for. It is to make your life better, the lives of each of your members better every day, and I thank you for that.
Well, that concludes our membership. Get a good lunch, huh? Woo! All right, so that concludes our membership lunch. I want to mention something to this group. A couple of things. We still have afternoon sessions. We have a reception tonight. Let me just say this. We have 2 outstanding sessions in the morning. One of those is the O'Shea's, and they are flippin' amazing. Do not miss it. Do not take the temptation of leaving early. Please stay for the entire conference. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah! No, go to your sessions. Have a good afternoon, everyone.